Chapter 11 Baoyuan Jade Pool, Xiao Miao's Ambition. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Yuan suddenly felt a mental wave, accompanied by a large amount of information, pouring into his mind from the black iron sheet. This is... Lin Yuan's eyes lit up, and after the mental wave disappeared, he could feel that there was a new secret method in his mind. The 3 mysterious changes of divine fire, a secret method left by ancient warriors, is divided into 3 changes. The first change can double the cultivation in a short period of time, the second change is 5 times, and the third change can actually increase the cultivation 10 times in a short period of time. Lin Yuan's pupils shrank slightly. He is now at the 9th level of foundation building, and can only barely use the 9 swords of the sky-splitting 9 swords. With the increase of the 3 mysterious changes of divine fire, it means that he can use it twice in a row, or even more times. The 3 mysterious changes of divine fire can bring a significant increase in his strength. This divine fire 3 mysterious transformations requires the cultivation of the Qi-gathering realm to perform. It just so happens that now that the Qi-gathering pill is in hand and everything is ready, I will directly strive for the Qi-gathering realm. Lin Yuan did what he said. He came to the quiet room in the main hall of the small courtyard, swallowed the Qi-gathering pill, and began to practice the Qingtian Hualongju method. Originally, Lin Yuan's cultivation had reached a bottleneck. After swallowing the Qi-gathering pill, the vitality in his body quickly circulated. Under the attraction of the Qingtian Hualongju method, the surrounding spiritual energy flowed into Lin Yuan's body like a vortex. At the same time, Xiao Miao, who was almost beheaded by Lin Yuan's sword, escaped from the Zhangtian sword sect market with the help of the warrior soul and came to a city called Nuyan City hundreds of miles away. Xiao Miao, your master's mental power has been overconsumed this time. I'm afraid it will be difficult to protect you for a period of time. The warrior soul was dim and illusory, and it looked like it could dissipate at any time. He was first hit by Lin Yuan's calming wave, and then burned his mental power to perform a secret method to forcibly rescue Xiao Miao. Teacher, I. Xiao Miao looked ashamed. He didn't expect that he had been practicing for so long under the guidance of the warrior soul, but he was crushed by a warrior in the foundation building realm. If it weren't for the teacher's soul power to save him, I'm afraid he would have died under Lin Yuan's sword today. It's okay, Xiao Miaozi, the teacher has said that you have grown too smoothly all the way. Now that you have suffered some setbacks, it is also a good thing for you. The warrior's soul was dim, and a bit of relief appeared on his illusory face. Do you remember the words you often say? 30 years in the east, 30 years in the west. Although you have been frustrated this time, if you can learn from your shame and work hard, it may not be a bad thing for you. The warrior's soul said kindly. Xiao Miao nodded in a daze. He was still depressed because of being crushed by Lin Yuan. Actually, your cultivation progress has been too fast these days. I didn't intend to tell you about this. However, this incident has dealt a heavy blow to you. I think you should also realize your shortcomings and weaknesses. The warrior's soul saw Xiao Miao like this, and the illusory soul body showed a hint of heartache on its face. It sighed and spoke slowly. What? Xiao Miao was stunned for a moment, raised his head, and looked at the warrior's soul with some confusion. Xiao Miao, let me ask you, do you want to take revenge on this guy who took away your opportunity? The warrior's soul did not answer directly, but looked at Xiao Miao with a serious expression. Yes. Xiao Miao nodded without hesitation. When he was defeated by Lin Yuan, he had almost no ability to fight back. If it weren't for the teacher's soul who risked his life to save him, he would definitely not survive today. After a short period of depression, Xiao Miao's heart was full of unwillingness. He wished that his cultivation could increase tenfold, so that he could smash Lin Yuan into a meat pie, to eliminate his hatred and to avenge the teacher's burning soul. Teacher, do you have a secret method to become stronger in a short time? I want to become stronger. I want to kill that guy with my own hands and avenge you. Xiao Miao raised his head, his eyes were full of murderous intent. After being depressed, he rekindled the flame of revenge. He was favored by luck and had the guidance of the warrior soul. Why was he not as good as an outer disciple of the Zhangtian sword sect? Xiao Miao, you are obsessed. Although the warrior's soul was happy that Xiao Miao had come out of depression, he did not want Xiao Miao to think of taking shortcuts in order to improve his strength in a short time. But Xiao Miao hesitated. After receiving the guidance of the warrior's soul, his cultivation speed was no longer the same as before, but today's experience made him understand that he was still far behind the real genius. If there is no powerful secret method, how can he defeat a perverted genius like Lin Yuan? The martial arts are endless, and there is no shortcut. The warrior's soul said meaningfully, even if there is a so-called shortcut, it is just a temporary solution. Are you willing to sacrifice your martial arts path for a stumbling block? Teacher, I. Xiao Miao suddenly felt like a lump in his throat. Soon, he lowered his head and said sadly, "You are right, the disciple is obsessed, but that guy's strength is too strange, and the swordsmanship is too powerful. Although I am one level higher than him, I have no power to fight back. If he successfully breaks through the Qi gathering realm, the disciple will not know how to compete with such a person. It's a good thing that you can recognize your own weakness." The warrior's soul nodded lightly, looking at Xiao Miao in front of him, with a satisfied look in his eyes. "But, there is one thing you said wrong." "What is it?" "You are one realm higher than him and cannot defeat him. If you are 2 or even 3 realms ahead of him, then no matter how evil a genius is, he will be as weak as an ant in front of you." The warrior's soul said softly. "But, after the Qi gathering realm, it is more difficult for warriors to practice. It is purely a chance for me to break through the Qi gathering realm." "How can?" Xiao Miao stopped talking here. He suddenly seemed to realize something, looked up at the warrior's soul in front of him, and his voice trembled with excitement. "Teacher, could it be that you—" "That's right." The warrior's soul nodded lightly. "Master knows a treasure land, which is the ruins of a sect left by an ancient warrior. There is a Baoyuan jade pool there. Every few decades, Baoyuan jade liquid can be condensed. After absorbing it, it is equivalent to at least 1 year of hard practice for a warrior in the Juqi realm." "Really?" Xiao Miao's eyes suddenly changed, and he looked at the warrior's soul with shining eyes. The only thing he wanted to do now was to improve his cultivation as soon as possible and take back the opportunity that was taken away by Lin Yuan. "Silly boy, when did the master lie to you?" That the warrior's soul smiled indifferently, and the illusory figure made a light beard-twisting motion. "Do you remember the jade token that the master gave you last time?" That is. Chapter 12 Breakthrough, First Level of Qi Gathering. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. That is the token of this ancient sect. As long as you hold the jade token, you can open the restriction, enter the Baoyuan jade pond, and absorb the Baoyuan jade liquid. The warrior's soul said in an enigmatic tone. Xiao Miao's eyes suddenly lit up. Disciples of the jade card should always carry it with them, Xiao Miao said and went to touch the jade plaque in his arms, but soon, his hand froze in midair. "What's wrong?" The warrior's soul instantly noticed that something was not right, looked at Xiao Miao and asked with a frown. "Old, teacher, jade card. Gone." Xiao Miao's face suddenly turned extremely ugly. Ever since the warrior's soul handed the jade token to him, he had been keeping it carefully in his inner pocket. Unexpectedly, even though he was so careful, the jade token was still lost. Xiao Miao suddenly remembered, when he and Lin Yuan fought just now, he used the black iron ruler to forcefully catch the opponent's 7 swords. The power of the 8th sword was too terrifying, so the teacher took action to protect him. Jade card, it should have dropped at that time. Damn, why at this time? Xiao Miao's eyes suddenly turned red, of course, not because she wanted to cry, but because of extreme anger. Tonight, the opportunity that originally belonged to me was cut off in advance. Even such a precious jade token was dropped during the battle. It was extremely unlucky. The key is that Lin Yuan's strength itself is terrifying enough. If he learns the secret of the jade tablet and cuts off the opportunity of Baoyuan jade pool, think of this. The fire that had just been ignited in Xiao Miao's eyes suddenly dimmed a lot, and her expression also became depressed. "That's all, time is also fate." The warrior's soul sighed helplessly, shook his head slightly, looked at Xiao Miao who was once again depressed, and reached out to pat him on the shoulder, but the illusory figure just passed through him. Teacher, I'm sorry, Xiao Miao's breathing was very rapid, and the two negative emotions of shame and depression almost swallowed him up completely. Even his speech began to become a little awkward. Xiao Miaozi, my teacher didn't blame you. But the warrior's soul shook his head, looked at Xiao Miao in front of him, and slowly said, besides the jade token, there is another way to enter the site. But, compared to using the jade token, the other way is much more dangerous. Teacher, I'm not afraid. Xiao Miao immediately got up his fighting spirit after hearing this. Although I suffered a big defeat today, I will never get back on my feet. Now that the jade card has fallen into the hands of that guy, I have no choice but to risk my life and wait until the other party notices. Only by entering the ruins can we regain the opportunity. Very good. The warrior's soul nodded with some relief. This is the little Miaozi I know. Listen carefully, there is a secret passage outside the ruins that can lead directly to the Baoyuan Jade Pond, but there is a powerful demonic beast guarding the secret passage. When I passed by it decades ago, the demonic beast had already formed a fake elixir, which is equivalent to the realm of a warrior's half-step Yuan Dan. Now that decades have passed, I don't know if that evil beast has made a breakthrough. This road is even more dangerous. Even so, do you want to try it? After saying that, the warrior's soul looked at Xiao Miao in front of him, quietly waiting for the other party's reply. Xiao Miao also fell silent after hearing this. He was only at the first level of qi gathering, but he had to face a half-step Yuan Dan monster. He naturally knew how dangerous this trip was. However, when he thought about being intercepted by Lin Yuan and almost beheaded by his sword, endless unwillingness and anger ignited in his chest. Fight! Xiao Miao's eyes flashed with determination. Very good. As expected, it's Xiao Miaozi who I know well. I like your energy. The warrior's soul nodded with satisfaction and said to Xiao Miao, you need to rest first. After tonight, I will take you out. Although the monster is a half-step Yuan Dan, I know it. A fatal weakness. If you have a good teacher to guide you, this monster may also bring you some opportunities. Thank you, teacher. Xiao Miao nodded heavily, with fighting spirit blazing in his eyes. At this moment, he seemed to see the scene of him killing the half-step Yuan Dan monster, entering the Baoyuan Jade Pond, improving his cultivation by leaps and bounds, and then trampling Lin Yuan under his feet. He has even begun to think about how he can repay today's humiliation 100-fold. 2 days later, in the early morning, at the outer sect peak of the Zhangtian Sword Sect, in the small courtyard number 12 in District A, Lin Yuan slowly opened his eyes in the quiet room. Compared with 2 days ago, he didn't look much different. The only difference was that there was an intimidating invisible aura surrounding Lin Yuan at this time. It's done. Lin Yuan lowered his head and looked at his hands. He could feel that the vitality that originally flowed throughout the meridians in his body had now condensed and concentrated in the dantian of the Sea of Qi, forming a vortex of vitality. This vitality vortex is a symbol of the qi gathering realm. Successfully condensing the vitality in the body to form a vitality vortex means that the warrior has entered the qi gathering realm. Through the vortex of vitality, the warrior has the ability to release his vitality. This means that from now on, Lin Yuan has officially become a martial artist in the martial arts. I thought I was so well prepared that I should be able to complete the breakthrough soon. Unexpectedly, it still took a whole day and 2 nights. Lin Yuan sighed secretly. After breaking through to the qi gathering realm, he could feel that his body seemed to be filled with endless vitality. Even the 9 swords unity, which burned all the vitality before, could only cast 1 sword. Now, the vitality in his body is enough for him. Perform this 5 or 6 times. Speaking of which, I remember hearing Elder Wu mention before that the energy vortex in the body of an ordinary warrior in the qi gathering realm is only the size of a thumb at most. Lin Yuan whispered. He can now clearly feel that his situation is completely different from other warriors. The vortex of vitality condensed by other people's qi gathering realm, even if they are at the 9th level of qi gathering, is only the size of a thumb at most, but he had just broken through the qi gathering realm, and the vortex of energy condensed in his body was as big as an arm. Lin Yuan knew that this should be because of his practice of the supreme dharma. The supreme method is the method for the supreme and powerful to achieve enlightenment. Even in the early stage of martial arts practice, in the realm of gathering energy, compared with ordinary practice methods, the difference is absolutely as big as clouds and mud. As long as I don't meet a warrior who practices the supreme dharma like me, even if he is at the 9th level of chi gathering, he will definitely be easily crushed by me in front of me. Lin Yuan's eyes flashed with excitement. It has been 3 years since he started martial arts, and he finally has the strength to protect himself. That's right. I almost forgot. Chapter 13, You Can't Just Pluck the Wool from One Sheep. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Lin Yuan suddenly remembered, according to the sect rules of the Zhangtian Sword sect, once an outer sect disciple breaks through from the 9th level of foundation building to the chi gathering realm, he or she can apply to the Internal Affairs Hall and officially become an inner sect disciple. The Zhangtian Sword Party cultivates its outer disciples and handyman disciples in an almost complete way, however. Once someone breaks through the chi gathering realm and becomes an inner disciple, the treatment will be completely different from before. In addition to the sect allocating a large amount of resources every month, the Zhangtian Sword sect will also arrange for each inner sect disciple to have a master to teach them how to practice, and will also provide guidance on various side jobs such as elixir refining, weapon refining, and formation techniques. Lin Yuan stood up and left the courtyard of number 12. He has lived here for less than a week. Perhaps Lin Yuan should be regarded as the guest who has lived in the outer gate peak for the shortest time in the Zhangtian Sword sect for hundreds of years. Soon, Lin Yuan came to the Internal Affairs Hall and handed in his original outer disciple token. The elder of the Internal Affairs Hall who was responsible for the registration handed a heavy-looking metal token into his hand after confirming that Lin Yuan's cultivation had indeed broken through the chi gathering realm. With the inner disciple token, you can freely enter the main peak of the Zhangtian Sword sect's mountain gate, where elders will hold lectures regularly to explain knowledge about cultivation, martial arts, etc. In addition, inner sect disciples can go to the 2nd and 3rd floors of the martial arts pavilion to choose suitable martial arts techniques. The disciples of the inner sect represent the Zhangtian Sword sect. In the future, their behavior should not be as casual as that of the outer sect, and they are not allowed to fight selfishly. Of course, it will be different if others provoke trouble first. The elder of the Internal Affairs Hall explained to Lin Yuan in a routine manner. Disciple understands. Lin Yuan nodded, and after collecting his inner disciple token, he planned to go directly to the martial pavilion for a stroll. The last time he went to the martial arts pavilion, he gained the powerful martial skill of the 9 sky-splitting swords. Therefore, Lin Yuan still has a good impression of Wuge. After all, people in Wuge come and go, and the more people go, the easier it will be for you to find opportunities. Lin Yuan came to Wuge. This 7-story building is still full of people. Coming and going. The Zhangtian Sword sect is huge in scale. Every day, countless disciples break through their cultivation levels and come to choose the martial arts skills rewarded by the sect. Elder, inner disciple Lin Yuan is here to choose the martial arts skills for the reward. Lin Yuan handed his inner gate token to the sloppy old man guarding the martial arts pavilion. This old man is the martial arts elder of the Zhangtian Sword sect. He is responsible for guarding the martial arts pavilion on weekdays. Sometimes when he is in a good mood, he will also explain some basics of martial arts to some handymen and outer disciples. Therefore, almost every disciple of the Zhangtian Sword sect who has stepped up from being a handyman disciple has a good impression of this martial arts elder. The sloppy old man took the token from Lin Yuan's hand. After looking at it, his eyes showed a bit of curiosity. Boy, did you just come here to choose the martial arts rewards from the outer sect a few days ago? Lin Yuan was slightly startled when he heard this. There are thousands of disciples coming and going in Wuge every day. He really didn't expect that the sloppy old man would still remember what he had been here a few days ago. Although I am old, my memory has not deteriorated yet. If I remember correctly, you little guy, you have just broken through the foundation building for less than 7 days, and now you have successfully gathered energy. The sloppy old man looked at Lin Yuan curiously. My disciple has been very lucky recently. He has found several opportunities one after another. It's just a blind cat encountering a dead mouse. Lin Yuan pretended to smile proudly and tried to get through. You are a bit naughty, and you dare to act clever in front of me. The sloppy old man raised his eyelids and glanced at Lin Yuan. He waved his hand casually and said, "Go in. The inner disciples can choose at will on the second and third floors." "Boy, I like you, old man. Let me remind you. When practicing martial arts, you should lay a solid foundation step by step. Don't take any crooked shortcuts just for the sake of temporary pleasure." Disciple understands. Lin Yuan took his token from Elder Jiangu, said it casually, then turned around and strode towards the Wu Pavilion. Enter the second floor of Wuga. Lin Yuan did not rush to choose martial arts skills, but first targeted the inner disciples who were coming and going. This person has been very lucky recently and is about to get a 1-star opportunity. This person has had some good luck recently and is about to receive a 2-star opportunity. This person. Lin Yuan looked at each passing inner disciple without leaving any trace. However, what disappointed him was that although many of these inner disciples had the words opportunity on their heads, these opportunities were just low-level opportunities with 1 or 2 stars. During this period, he successively intercepted 4-star and 5-star level opportunities. Lin Yuan didn't like these ordinary 1 or 2-star opportunities. "TSK, that's sloppy." Lin Yuan sighed secretly. The sect rules of the Zhangtian sword sect are relatively strict. Whether a handyman becomes an outer sect, or an outer sect is promoted to an inner sect, there is only one chance to enter the martial arts pavilion. The people I met today all seem to have average luck, which was far worse than the day when I was promoted from a handyman disciple to an outer disciple, but Lin Yuan didn't have anything to regret. If something like chance can be picked up casually, it cannot be called chance. He spent a whole day in the martial arts pavilion, until it was getting late and the inner disciples in the martial arts pavilion gradually began to become sparse. They did not encounter any good opportunities. Lin Yuan immediately decided not to waste time. He now possessed the 2 unique skills of the sky-splitting 9 swords and the 3 mysterious changes of the divine fire, and his combat power was enough to look down on the entire Qi-gathering realm. If he was greedy and only thought about high-star opportunities, he might end up with nothing, so. Lin Yuan's eyes quickly locked on an inner sect disciple. A 2-star opportunity was displayed above his head. Following the opportunity line, Lin Yuan came to a cabinet and took a step ahead of the inner sect brother, named Thunder Mountain Opening Fist, which was ranked as the upper human grade. Then he did the same thing and intercepted another inner sect disciple's 2-star opportunity. This time, the martial arts was a body movement martial arts, named Cloud-Piercing Shadowless Step, which was also a Dao-level martial arts like the sky-splitting 9 swords, but perhaps because it was a body movement martial arts, it could not bring a significant improvement in strength, so the system gave it only a 2-star evaluation. After taking away the Cloud-Piercing Shadowless Step in advance, Lin Yuan suddenly discovered that the word opportunity on the head of this inner disciple did not disappear, but a line of opportunity extended from his chest, connecting to another grid next to Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan was slightly stunned. However, he put down the token without hesitation and used his last chance to take away this martial art. At this time, the inner disciple whose opportunity was intercepted by Lin Yuan twice in a row trembled slightly. If he knew that he had been intercepted by the same person twice in a row, he would definitely be furious and complain with a broken mentality. You can't pull the wool from a sheep to death. Chapter 14, Choosing a Residence, 4-star Opportunity. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. After Lin Yuan selected the 3 martial arts, he immediately turned around and left the martial arts pavilion to register with Elder Jiangu. After the sloppy old man looked at Lin Yuan, he looked at the 3 martial arts he selected with a slightly subtle look. Have to say, the 3 martial arts selected by Lin Yuan are all in the 2nd and 3rd floor areas, and they are extremely high quality. Especially the last book on swordsmanship and martial arts, Sunset Sword Technique, is the best among the best. Even if it is placed in a higher level area, it is fully qualified. Boy, you have really good vision. When you practice this Sunset Sword Technique, if you encounter any problems, you can come and ask the old man me. The sloppy old man handed back the 3 martial arts secret books together with Lin Yuan's token and said casually, "Thank you, Elder Jiangwu." Lin Yuan nodded, put away his things, turned around and walked outside the Wuga. As soon as he arrived at the entrance of Wuga, Lin Yuan saw a familiar figure. Junior brother Lin Yuan, congratulations on your promotion to the inner disciple. The elder arranged for me to help you choose a place to live. This was the senior sister from the Internal Affairs Hall who told Lin Yuan his address when he was promoted to the outer sect. Lin Yuan nodded. There is another difference between the inner disciples and the outer disciples, that is, the residence of the outer disciples is arranged by the sect, but the residence of the inner disciples can be freely chosen. Lin Yuan followed the senior sister from the Internal Affairs Hall to the mountain gate where the inner disciples lived. On the way, the senior sister from the Internal Affairs Hall told him that there was a small Yuan array in the mountain gate where the inner sect disciples lived. The closer to the courtyard of the Yuan array, the more abundant the spiritual energy was around it. Needless to say, the benefits of abundant spiritual energy for martial arts training, even though the gap between them is not particularly obvious, over time, the warriors who live closest to the Yuan-Ju array can absorb several % more spiritual energy than the warriors who live farthest from the Yuan-Ji array. Those yards that don't have signs in front of them are uninhabited. The senior sister from the Internal Affairs Hall said to Lin Yuan found a courtyard very close to the eye of the Jiyuan formation. Just when he was about to choose this courtyard, he suddenly found another person who was just like him, wearing the same clothes as an outer sect disciple. He should also be a newly promoted inner sect disciple. Accompanied by another senior sister from the Internal Affairs Hall, I came to choose a place to live. On top of this man's head, the familiar word chance appeared on Lin Yuan's head. This person has been very lucky recently and is about to get a 4-star opportunity. Lin Yuan's eyes suddenly lit up. He looked at the opponent intently and found that the chance line extending from the opponent's chest was connected to a small courtyard in the distance far away from the Jiyuan formation and even looked a little dilapidated. So, Lin Yuan immediately walked towards the courtyard. Arriving in front of the courtyard, Lin Yuan once again confirmed that the 4-star opportunity line was connected to this courtyard. Senior sister, I have chosen this courtyard. Lin Yuan said to the senior sister from the Internal Affairs Hall beside him without hesitation. Junior brother Lin, are you sure? This courtyard is far away from the Yuan gathering formation. No one has chosen to live in this courtyard for a long time. The senior sister from the Internal Affairs Hall looked at Lin Yuan with some confusion. Yeah, I'm sure. Lin Yuan nodded. Others could not see the mystery of this courtyard, but he knew that there was a 4-star opportunity hidden in this courtyard. This was an opportunity on the same level as the 9 splitting sky swords, so Lin Yuan naturally couldn't miss it. At this moment, the master of 4-star opportunity, a young man who had just become an inner disciple like Lin Yuan, also came nearby and said to the disciples of the Internal Affairs Hall next to him. This is it. After hearing the young man's words, the disciple of the Internal Affairs Hall was about to register, but the senior sister of the Internal Affairs Hall next to Lin Yuan stepped forward quickly. I'm sorry, junior brother Lin Yuan has already chosen this courtyard just now. What? Hearing the words of the senior sister from the Internal Affairs Hall, the young man was stunned for a moment, and then a coldness flashed in his eyes. He chose this courtyard because before his breakthrough, he spent a large amount of spiritual stones to buy information from an inner sect brother, saying that this courtyard was the former residence of a genius from the Zhangtian sword sect, and there might be something hidden inside. There are good things, that's why the young man chose this seemingly dilapidated courtyard, but he didn't expect that the news that he had spent a large amount of spiritual stones to buy would be reported first by Lin Yuan. How can this happen? The young man immediately felt angry, because no matter whether he could choose this residence or not, it was impossible to return the spiritual stone that he had given to the inner disciple. After all, I will still be hanging out in the inner sect in the future, and I must not offend those inner sect brothers. So the young man strode forward, came to Lin Yuan, and said coldly. I set my sights on this place first. I have relationships with senior brother Yi and senior brother Shen from the inner sect. You, please find another place. Lin Yuan frowned slightly after hearing the young man's words. He originally felt a little apologetic to the young man for cutting off the other party, but when he heard the other party's almost command-like words, Lin Yuan suddenly felt a little unhappy. Junior brother Lin Yuan, as long as you are not willing to exchange, I can notarize on behalf of the Internal Affairs Hall that you chose this residence first. The senior sister from the Internal Affairs Hall immediately stood up and spoke for Lin Yuan. Who the hell do you think you are? A handyman in the Internal Affairs Hall, a humble servant. You are worthy of getting involved in the affairs of the inner disciples. Hearing that the senior sister of the Internal Affairs Hall also spoke for Lin Yuan, the young man suddenly became even more annoyed. At the same time, he looked at Lin Yuan and sneered, if you have the guts, don't stand behind a woman. Let's fight. Whoever loses will get out of the yard. Lin Yuan originally didn't intend to pay attention to the other party, but seeing that the other party was so domineering, he immediately recalled the scene when he was bullied by senior brother Yi and others when he was still a chore's disciple, and his eyes suddenly became a little colder. He looked at the senior sister of the Internal Affairs Hall and asked, in this case, if he attacked the young man, would it be considered a violation of the sect rules? The senior sister of the Internal Affairs Hall was stunned for a moment and explained, because the other party started the incident first, you fought back, it doesn't count as a violation of the sect rules. Hearing the explanation of the senior sister of the Internal Affairs Hall, Lin Yuan sneered, and before the senior sister finished speaking, his figure had already rushed towards the other party at full speed. Come on. The young man snorted coldly and immediately pulled open the shelf and prepared to attack. As a result, before his internal chi had finished running, Lin Yuan had already hit him in the chest with a sword. The next second, the young man flew backwards and hit a big rock on the roadside. Sky-splitting 9 swords is a Dao-level martial art. Although Lin Yuan did not attack directly with this sword, but swept it with the scabbard, the power was still amazing. The young man, who was also in the chi-gathering realm, was hit by his sword and flew out before he could defend himself. Thank you. The senior sister of the Internal Affairs Hall looked at Lin Yuan with gratitude. Is it okay for me to choose this house? Lin Yuan did not respond, but looked at the small courtyard in front of him. The senior sister of the Internal Affairs Hall nodded hurriedly. No problem, I will help you register at the Internal Affairs Hall immediately. Chapter 15, Peerless Talent, True Solution to Alchemy. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Soon, the senior sister from the Internal Affairs Hall came back and helped Lin Yuan complete the check-in registration, and Lin Yuan also walked into this small courtyard that contained 4-star opportunities as he wished. Pushing open the door, Lin Yuan found that the small courtyard looked very run-down from the outside, but that's not the case inside. The furnishings in the courtyard are very simple, with only a wooden table and a set of chairs, but it does not seem to have a peaceful and far-reaching charm. He opened the door and walked into the room. The same is true in the room. Although there is a lot of dust on the ground because it has been unoccupied for so long, the furniture and so on are covered with cloth. It can be seen that the previous owner of this house was definitely a person who lived a refined life. Lin Yuan was not busy packing the furniture, but followed the line of opportunity and leaned over to look under the octagonal table. The thread of opportunity on that young man's body was connected under the octagonal table. Really, after Lin Yuan fumbled under the octagonal table for a while, he found a strange storage bag. He opened it casually and found that the storage space of this storage bag was huge, more than 10 times more than the storage bag he was wearing. Moreover, this storage bag is not empty. In addition to a neatly bound book, there were countless medicinal herbs inside. Although Lin Yuan could not name the herbs, he could tell from the medicinal fragrance that filled the room that these herbs were absolutely extraordinary. It is indeed a 4-star opportunity. The value of these herbs alone is probably worth tens of thousands of low-grade spiritual stones. Lin Yuan was secretly shocked. The monthly salary of an inner disciple of the Tsangtian sword sect was 1,000 low-grade spiritual stones. The herbs in this storage bag alone could equal his own salary for several years. Of course, what Lin Yuan cared about more was not the herbs, but the neatly bound book. True explanation of alchemy, for words were written on the book one by one. Lin Yuan opened the title page and found that there was another note inside. To my destined brothers and sisters, I have been studying alchemy for 50 years. Unfortunately, God was jealous of my talent and made me suffer from an incurable disease. Now I will leave what I have learned throughout my life here. If anyone finds it by chance, feel free to take it and study it. The medicinal materials in the storage bag are just a little thought from me. senior brother. There were only 2 lines of words on the note, and it did not indicate who had left it. However, Lin Yuan understood that a person who dared to name his own understanding of alchemy as the true solution to alchemy must definitely be in the alchemy field and have extraordinary talents. Only people dare to be so confident. Thank you, senior brother. Lin Yuan gently nodded to the true solution to alchemy in his hand and whispered to himself, with your benefit, I will study this method carefully and carry forward what you have learned throughout my life. After the words fell, Lin Yuan suddenly discovered that the herbs in this storage bag were different from the herbs usually placed in storage bags. If you put freshly picked herbs into an ordinary storage bag, the medicinal properties of the herbs will gradually lose over time. However, the herbs in this storage bag are all plump and juicy, as if they were just picked not long ago. Lin Yuan immediately realized that this storage bag has the function of maintaining the properties of medicinal herbs and is really the most suitable treasure for alchemists. He put the storage bag away close to his body. The book Alchemy was placed on the octagonal table and was not stored in the storage bag. After a warrior reaches the chi gathering stage, he can start trying side jobs such as alchemy and weapon refining. Lin Yuan plans to study this alchemy guide after he has tidied up his room. Lin Yuan was not too anxious to practice the 3 martial arts skills he obtained from the martial arts pavilion. For him, the increase in strength brought by these martial arts skills is not particularly significant. In contrast, being able to master alchemy is more effective for him. Soon, Lin Yuan tidied up the room. In fact, there was nothing to tidy up. He just swept the dust on the floor and then removed the cloth covering the furniture. He took the book of alchemy true solution to the small courtyard, sat on the wooden table and chair, and began to study it carefully. It wasn't until the night was deep that Lin Yuan closed the book with relish. Lin Yuan originally thought that alchemy and weapon refining were just an extension of martial arts. After carefully studying the true meaning of alchemy, he suddenly discovered that the art of alchemy was far more profound than he had imagined. Fortunately, after Lin Yuan practiced the Qingtian dragon transformation technique, his senses in all aspects became sharper and his comprehension ability was greatly improved. It was not difficult for him to read this true explanation of alchemy. Previously, he was just sighing at the huge number of medicinal herbs in the storage bag. After studying the true solution to alchemy, Lin Yuan discovered that the senior brother who left the true solution to alchemy was really a thoughtful person. The herbs in this storage bag correspond to all the 1st to 4th grade elixirs in the true solution to alchemy. In other words, when the senior brother left the true solution to alchemy, he had already thought of letting me use these. Practice. Lin Yuan immediately understood the senior brother's intention, and couldn't help but feel warm in his heart, sighing that the senior brother was really a good person. At this time, suddenly, an extremely inconspicuous and subtle sound caught Lin Yuan's attention. It seemed that someone stepped lightly and accidentally stepped on the broken tiles on the roof. Lin Yuan immediately became alert. He followed the sound. Sure enough, a sneaky figure was creeping up to the roof of his room. Lin Yuan sneered, jumped up silently, and landed on the roof silently. He came behind the other party, but the assassin did not notice Lin Yuan's arrival at all. He was still searching for Lin Yuan's trace, but Lin Yuan had already judged from details such as figure and posture that this person should be the young man who competed with him for residence in the afternoon and was knocked away by his scabbard. This guy must be holding a grudge. After returning, he became more and more angry. He wanted to sneak into the yard under the dark moon and wanted to kill him. After confirming the identity of the other party, Lin Yuan was too lazy to play cat and mouse with him. He directly drew the sword at his waist, and a large amount of vitality surged out of the vortex of vitality, and his figure rushed forward like a ghost. The Dao-level martial arts, 9 swords of sky splitting, was launched directly. The man hadn't reacted yet, and even before he had time to turn around, he felt a chill in his chest. He lowered his head to check and found a shining sword tip piercing through his chest. Lin Yuan did not hesitate at all. After pulling out the sword that pierced through the opponent's chest, he changed from stabbing to slashing, and slashed at the opponent's neck. The next second, a head flew up. The whole process, from Lin Yuan's move to the young man's head falling to the ground, took less than 2 breaths. Chapter 16, 4th Rank Alchemist, Qingyue. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Before dawn the next day, Lin Yuan came back from the back mountain with a shovel. He found a wasteland to dispose of the young man's body. Not only that, he also found a storage bag on the other party, which contained 10 middle-grade spirit stones. 10 middle-grade spirit stones, converted into low-grade spirit stones, are equivalent to a full 1,000 low-grade spirit stones. Lin Yuan would not miss the free spirit stones. Apart from that, there was nothing else valuable in the young man's storage bag. After Lin Yuan collected the spirit stones, he did not continue to study the true meaning of alchemy in the yard. He had remembered the contents of the book almost all last night. Next, he planned to go to the alchemy room, use the medicinal materials on hand to practice simply. After Lin Yuan was promoted from an outer disciple to an inner disciple, most areas in the sect would be open to him. This naturally includes the alchemy room and the refining workshop. Lin Yuan left the inner gate peak and walked towards the mountain gate where the alchemy room was located. In the Zhangtian sword sect, all the martial arts side jobs, including alchemy, weapon refining, and formations, are concentrated in a mountain gate. In this way, in addition to being convenient for martial artists to practice these side jobs, it is also convenient for people from the market to come and buy. When he arrived at the mountain gate, Lin Yuan was stopped by a disciple on duty. After checking his token, the disciple on duty stepped aside to let him go. After learning that Lin Yuan was going to the alchemy room, he pointed out the direction for him to find it conveniently. Lin Yuan came to the door of the alchemy room and found that the number of warriors gathered here was no less than that of the martial arts pavilion. The martial arts practice of martial artists cannot be separated from elixirs. These precious medicines that are refined by extracting the essence of various precious herbs are of great help to martial arts practice. In addition to practice, martial artists also need elixirs such as Juqi Dan and Huiyuan Dan in their daily battles to ensure their continuous combat capabilities, so no matter which sect, the alchemy room is always a popular place. Lin Yuan squeezed out of the crowd and came to the registration office of the alchemy room, saying that he wanted to rent the alchemy furnace of the alchemy room to try to make alchemy. The disciple at the registration office immediately told Lin Yuan that the rental fee of the alchemy room was divided into 4 areas. The cheapest and most suitable area for novices, D area, was 1 medium-grade spirit stone per day, equivalent to 100 low-grade spirit stones. Lin Yuan, who was rich and powerful, naturally didn't care about this expense. He casually took out 100 low-grade spirit stones from his storage bag and handed them to the disciple at the registration office. Soon, he got a card with the number 6 of D area written on it from the other party. Ding area is at the northernmost end. After you go there, a disciple of the alchemy room will take you to the corresponding room. The disciple at the registration office saw that Lin Yuan was a stranger, so he explained. Thank you. Lin Yuan nodded lightly. When he was about to find the alchemy room he rented according to what the other party said, he suddenly found that there was a commotion among the crowd crowded at the door of the alchemy room. What happened? Lin Yuan was a little curious and looked at the crowd. Only then did he realize that a path had been spontaneously opened in the originally crowded crowd. A beautiful lady who looked a little cold and a few years older than him walked out of the crowd expressionlessly. She was wearing tight shorts and was very hot, her long white legs were dazzling, and she wore a silver anklet on her ankle. As she walked slowly, the bell on the anklet made a tinkling sound, which made people imagine. Looking up, the pair of snow-capped peaks on her chest rose and fell with her walking movements, giving people a sense of grandeur that could never be controlled by one hand. The woman's face was also very delicate, with drooping eyebrows and phoenix eyes, carrying a cold aura that kept strangers away. She came to the registration office without looking sideways, walked past Lin Yuan, but did not even look at him, and said directly to the disciples at the registration office. Number 1, Area A, 5 days. Yes, Senior Sister Qingyue. The disciples at the registration office were stunned for a moment, and then reacted, and hurriedly said to the woman with a flattering face. Lin Yuan was secretly surprised when he heard this. He had just asked about it. The alchemy room in Area A was the most expensive of the 4 areas. The daily usage fee was as high as 1 high-grade spirit stone, that is, 100 medium-grade spirit stones and 10,000 low-grade spirit stones. It was 100 times more expensive than the one in Area D that Lin Yuan rented. This senior sister is quite rich. She rented an alchemy room that costs 10,000 low-grade spirit stones a day for 5 days. Lin Yuan looked at the woman's back in surprise. He found that the other person was not too tall, but her posture was straight, with a pair of smooth and white long legs. No matter from the front or the back, there was no flaw. She is. Lin Yuan looked at the disciple at the registration office with some curiosity. Brother, you just joined the inner sect not long ago, right? You don't even know senior sister Qingyue. That the disciple at the registration office was also a chatterbox. The registration work was boring. He finally got the chance and chatted with Lin Yuan immediately. Senior sister Qingyue. Lin Yuan thought about the name carefully for a moment, but there was no information about her in his mind. She is the most famous one in the alchemy room. Well, I think this is the first time I've heard of her, so I'll tell you about her. In fact, it's the same if you ask anyone. Anyone who often visits the alchemy room knows about senior sister Qingyue. When the disciples at the registration office mentioned senior sister Qingyue, they immediately became excited and started to explain with excitement. She is our Zhangtian sword sect. No, it should be said that she is the youngest 4th grade alchemist among all the surrounding sections. A 4th grade alchemist. Lin Yuan couldn't help being slightly stunned when he heard this. When he studied the true explanation of alchemy last night, he learned that alchemists are divided into grades 1 to 9, among which grade 4 is a big threshold. Only by becoming a 4th grade alchemist can one be considered successful on the road to alchemy. According to the senior brother who wrote the true explanation of alchemy, countless talented alchemists will fall on the threshold of the 3rd to 4th grades, and they will not be able to break through this level throughout their lives. This woman named Qingyue looks young, maybe even about the same age as herself. She is already a 4th grade alchemist. Yes, but this is not the most legendary. The disciple at the registration office said with longing, senior sister Qingyue is only 22 years old this year, but her martial arts cultivation has already broken through the 5th level of Yuan Dan. Hearing this, Lin Yuan couldn't help but show a surprised expression. In the early stage of martial arts training, the speed is generally very fast, but after reaching the Qi-gathering realm, the warrior's cultivation speed will gradually slow down. The 22-year-old Yuan Dan 5th level is indeed an extremely rare genius. Furthermore, senior sister Qingyue only started learning alchemy last year. At that time, she successfully refined a 1st-grade elixir in less than a month and became a 1st-grade alchemist. Nowadays, among the inner disciples, senior sister Qingyue's alchemy level is definitely the best. I don't know how many inner disciples there are now, all of them are queuing up to beg her to make alchemy. A pill made by senior sister Qingyue is often more than 30% more effective than a pill made by others. Chapter 17, The Elixir is Completed, First Class Alchemist. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Lin Yuan nodded secretly and wrote down the words of the disciple at the registration office. At the same time, he was also very interested in this senior sister Qingyue. Don't get me wrong, it's not that kind of interest. Lin Yuan felt that since senior sister Qingyue was able to break through to Yuan Dan so quickly and become a 4th grade alchemist in just 1 year, then she must have a lot of opportunities. In the future, I must find an opportunity to get to know her. Maybe there will be unexpected gains. Lin Yuan left the registration office and walked towards the alchemy room according to the room marked by his hand card. Soon, he came to number 6 in Area D, where the alchemy room disciples who had received the news had already opened the door of the alchemy room in advance. After Lin Yuan showed his hand card, he went directly into the room. The alchemy room in Area D is relatively simple. In addition to a small portable medicine rack, there is only a set of tables and chairs, and a huge alchemy furnace. Lin Yuan has studied the true solution of alchemy and knows that the alchemy furnace in front of him is the most common earth fire furnace. The flame it uses comes from the ground fire in the ground veins under the mountain gate. The firepower is relatively stable, but the shortcomings are also obvious. The temperature of the ground fire has an upper limit. Using the ground fire furnace, at most, you can only refine elixirs of no more than 3 grades. If the quality is higher, the temperature of the ground fire furnace is not enough. Lin Yuan did not aim too high. After he simply familiarized himself with the operation of the ground fire furnace, He took out a set of herbs needed for the first-grade qi recovering pill from the storage bag. The first-grade qi recovering pill is the simplest and easiest to refine among all the first-grade pills. It uses only two kinds of medicinal materials, moonlight grass and vitality flower. These two herbs can be found everywhere, and the planting conditions are simple. Even many ordinary people without martial arts cultivation at the foot of the mountain can plant them and sell them to the sect in exchange for spirit stones. According to the instructions in the True Explanation of Alchemy, to refine this kind of elixir, as long as you master the balance of fire and let the medicinal properties of the two herbs blend with each other, you can make the elixir. Lin Yuan silently recited the method of refining the qi recovering elixir. After putting the two herbs into the elixir furnace, he began to stimulate the vital energy and control the earth-fire furnace. At the beginning, the process of melting the two herbs was very dull. Lin Yuan only needed to inject the vital energy, and the earth-fire furnace would provide a constant supply of fire to force out the medicinal properties of the two herbs. But after the medicinal properties of the two herbs were extracted, it was time to fuse them. Lin Yuan was about to increase the supply of vital energy and increase the firepower of the earth-fire furnace. As a result, a puff of black smoke suddenly came out of the earth-fire furnace. Lin Yuan's first elixir refining failed. Looking at the two pools of black liquid flowing out of the waste hole of the earth-fire furnace, Lin Yuan frowned slightly. He was clearly refining according to the method described in the True Explanation of Alchemy, but before he could increase the supply of vital energy, the two medicinal herbal liquids could not be fused because the temperature was not high enough, and they became fuzzy. This made Lin Yuan feel a little unacceptable. However, he was not the kind of person who was easily discouraged. After the first failure, he almost did not stop for a long time. After figuring out the problem in his operation, he started the second attempt directly. Put in medicinal materials, refine, and increase the temperature. This time, Lin Yuan started to increase the vital energy injection half a second in advance, and there was no more black gas coming out of the earth furnace, which made him flash a trace of satisfaction in his eyes. The result, before Lin Yuan could be satisfied for too long, there was a strange sound in the earth furnace, and then the billowing black smoke visible to the naked eye came out. In a few seconds, the whole room was filled with a pungent smell of fuzzy. Cough cough. Lin Yuan coughed twice and hurriedly urged the vital energy to dispel the black smoke. He looked at the earth furnace helplessly, not knowing where he had gone wrong this time. After recalling the contents of the True Explanation of Alchemy, Lin Yuan finally understood that the firepower of the furnace is not constant during the process of alchemy. The firepower required for the pill is different at different stages. If the temperature is high, the medicinal materials will easily become mushy. And there may even be a risk of the furnace exploding. If the temperature is too low, the medicinal properties in the liquid medicine cannot be completely integrated, resulting in the failure of the pill to finally take shape. The situation just now was because Lin Yuan did not reduce the output of vitality in time, causing the temperature of the liquid medicine to become mushy during the refining process. Fortunately, the two herbs used in the qi recovering pill have relatively mild medicinal properties, so there was no furnace explosion. After Lin Yuan understood this, he quickly started his third attempt. This time, during the entire operation, his luck value was almost full, and there were no major mistakes every time he adjusted his vitality. Unfortunately, because Lin Yuan was too conservative during the operation, the final pill did not take shape successfully. The final product was not a real first-grade qi recovering pill, but a qi recovering powder that was common on the market and was lower than the qi recovering pill. However, even so, Lin Yuan did not feel sorry. This was only his third attempt, and he successfully refined a semi-finished product. If he had a semi-finished product, would he be far from success next? Facts proved. Lin Yuan underestimated the difficulty of refining pills. Until late at night, Lin Yuan's next dozens of attempts all ended in failure. Either the fire was too high, the medicine liquid became mushy and emitted black smoke, or because he was too cautious, the temperature was insufficient when the pill was finally formed, resulting in only a semi-finished qi recovering powder being produced. It was also fortunate that Lin Yuan practiced the Qingtian Hualongju, which could provide him with a continuous supply of vitality recovery. If it were someone else, after dozens of attempts, the vitality in his body would have been drained long ago. What Lin Yuan didn't know was, if other alchemists knew about his process of refining pills, they would definitely be shocked. Most alchemists, when they first started to refine pills, had to go through hundreds or thousands of attempts before they could refine a semi-finished Qi-recovering powder. Even Sister Qingyue, who was praised to the sky by the disciples of the registration office, took a full week to successfully refine the first bottle of semi-finished Qi-recovering powder. Despite this, Sister Qingyue at that time had already shocked her alchemy teacher and was called an alchemy genius by him. Lin Yuan naturally didn't know this. Now, his mind was full of how to successfully refine pills. After a short rest to recover, he started a new attempt. Thanks to the storage bag left by the senior brother, which contained a nearly huge amount of medicinal herbs, Lin Yuan had the opportunity to try and fail again and again. This time, Lin Yuan looked at the furnace with full concentration, using the spiritual power he cultivated through the ancient scripture of destroying gods to keep an eye on the situation of the medicine liquid. Whenever the medicine liquid was about to boil, Lin Yuan would slightly control the output of his vital energy. And when the temperature of the medicine liquid was slightly lower and the two liquids were about to separate, he would immediately increase the supply of vital energy. Finally, when the east was white and the first ray of morning light fell on the gate of the Zhangtian sword sect, the furnace in front of Lin Yuan also happened to emit a burst of white smoke with a fragrant smell of medicine, the first-grade Qi-restoring pill, a perfect pill. Chapter 18, 3rd Grade Alchemist, 5-Star Opportunity. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It's done. Lin Yuan was excited. The first time he successfully refined a first-grade pill, it meant that he had become a first-grade alchemist. He vaguely remembered that the disciple at the registration office of the alchemy room told him how long it took senior sister Qingyue to become a first-grade alchemist. It seemed to be a month. Lin Yuan took out the first-grade Qi-recovering pill from the alchemy furnace, looked at it for a while, and swallowed it in one gulp. The vitality in his body was immediately restored rapidly. The medicinal effect was excellent. After swallowing the first-grade Qi-recovering pill, Lin Yuan, who was at the Qi-gathering stage, immediately recovered a full 20% of his vitality. After becoming a first-grade alchemist, Lin Yuan did not get complacent. After calming down, he started a new attempt. In the next day, he refined 10 first-grade Qi-recovering pills, and 7 of them succeeded. The 3 failures also produced Qi-recovering powder. Then, Lin Yuan challenged the second-grade pill. After a whole day of failure, the second-grade pill was declared a success. 3 days later, Lin Yuan stared at the earth-fire furnace in front of him nervously. After 5 days of consumption, his mental power and vitality were exhausted to the limit, and he felt a little exhausted. However, even so, Lin Yuan still kept his nerves tense and stared at the furnace meticulously. Finally, in the last second before his mental power was exhausted, white smoke came out of the furnace, filling the whole alchemy room with the fragrance of medicine, announcing that Lin Yuan's alchemy was successful this time. Lin Yuan didn't bother to take out the pill, and fell to the ground. After 2 hours, he slowly opened his eyes. The first time he opened his eyes, Lin Yuan opened the furnace with great excitement and took out the pill that had already cooled down. 3rd grade, Qi gathering pill. That's right, on the 5th day of learning to refine the pill, Lin Yuan successfully refined the 3rd grade pill Qi gathering pill and officially became a 3rd grade alchemist. If this matter was known to other alchemists, they would be absolutely shocked. When senior sister Qingyue took a month to become a 1st grade alchemist, she was already recognized by everyone as a genius in alchemy, and Lin Yuan achieved the 3rd grade in just 5 days. How terrifying! After putting away the 3rd grade Qi gathering pill, Lin Yuan left the alchemy room number 6 in District D. He did not rashly try the 4th grade pill, because the 4th grade alchemist needed to correspond to the Yuandan realm in martial arts cultivation, and with his current strength, he was not enough to try. In addition, in these 5 days, Lin Yuan's vitality and mental strength were overdrawn to the limit. If he continued, it would be very likely to be dangerous, so, he left the alchemy room directly and prepared to go back and have a good rest. Number 6, District D, 4 days overtime, need to pay 400 lower-grade spirit stones. The disciple at the registration office flipped through the record of number 6, District D, and looked at Lin Yuan with a strange look. He had never seen anyone rent the alchemy room in District D and stay in it for a full 5 days at a time. Lin Yuan casually took out 4 medium-grade spirit stones from his storage bag and handed them to the other party. Just as he was about to leave, he heard the registration office disciple behind him say to other alchemy room brothers. That inner sect brother named Lin Yuan, who came to the alchemy room for the first time to try alchemy, could stay in the alchemy room for 6 whole days. He is simply a monster. Lin Yuan didn't say much and was about to turn around and leave, however, when the registration office disciple exclaimed, "Senior Sister Qingyue just walked out of the number 1 alchemy room in Area A." Hearing the exclamation of the registration office disciple, Qingyue looked at Lin Yuan with some curiosity. She thought to herself that being able to stay in the boring alchemy room for 5 whole days is a person who can endure hardships. Such a person may become a first-class alchemist in a few months. The four looked at each other, and Lin Yuan nodded slightly to Senior Sister Qingyue, but the other party just narrowed her eyes and glanced at him, with no intention of paying attention at all, and walked away slowly. Lin Yuan didn't care about it. After all, the other party was a Yuandan realm warrior, and the most dazzling alchemy genius among the inner disciples. It was natural for him to be a little arrogant. He just needed to make himself familiar with the other party first. When there were more opportunities to meet in the future, there would always be a chance to see the opportunity line on the other party. At that time, he could consider intercepting the other party's opportunity. After he left the alchemy room, he returned to his residence. Because he had rested in the alchemy room for 2 hours, Lin Yuan was not very sleepy now. So he decided to take advantage of the deficiency of vitality in his body to practice Qingtian Hualong Ju first, and restore his vitality to the peak state. However, not long after Lin Yuan entered the state of practice, he felt that the vortex of vitality in his body began to sweep the surrounding spiritual energy crazily, and then it grew a little visibly. The vortex of vitality of a warrior in the Juki realm is usually in a relatively stable state, and it will only gradually grow when there is a breakthrough. Breakthrough? Lin Yuan was a little surprised, but he was relieved soon. These past few days, I have been frantically squeezing out my vitality every day, and I almost stop to recover when I have completely exhausted my vitality. Under this cycle, it is only natural for me to break through the second level of qi condensation. I didn't expect that studying alchemy would bring me extra benefits. Lin Yuan was secretly happy. He stood up and stretched, and then he realized that it was almost 5 o'clock outside, and the sun was about to rise. It seems that after I started to break through, I have unknowingly spent another day. Lin Yuan went to the yard to fetch water and washed his face, preparing to take advantage of the opportunity to break through and study the martial arts secrets he had selected from the martial arts pavilion. At this time, he suddenly noticed that in the bronze mirror in front of him, the familiar word chance appeared on his head. This person has been very lucky recently and is about to get a 5-star opportunity. Seeing this extremely familiar word, Lin Yuan couldn't help but be stunned. In the past, he had intercepted opportunities on other people's bodies. Unexpectedly, this time, the word chance also appeared on his body. Moreover, it is a rare 5-star opportunity. That's right. In martial arts practice, every warrior may encounter different opportunities. Although I usually focus on intercepting other people's opportunities, it doesn't mean that I won't get my own opportunities. Lin Yuan suddenly realized. He looked down at the chance line extending from his chest and found that the chance line was very short and connected to the storage bag hanging on his waist. The opportunity is in the storage bag. Lin Yuan was a little curious and immediately took off the storage bag to check. Soon, he determined what was connected by the chance line. It's a jade plaque. When I went to buy qi gathering pills a few days ago, when I was fighting against the warrior named Xiao Miao, the opponent left the jade token on the ground after running away with the help of the warrior's soul. This thing is actually related to a 5-star opportunity. Chapter 19, Interception Mission, Fury City. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Lin Yuan was stunned for a moment. Previously, when I intercepted Hu Jiuxing's black iron piece, I obtained the 3 mysterious transformations of divine fire, which was a 5-star opportunity. Now, the jade token left by the other party was actually rated as a 5-star opportunity by the system. It can be seen that this guy named Xiao Miao has extraordinary luck. Lin Yuan took out the jade tag and looked at it, and found that there was nothing special about it except for a mark that he couldn't understand. Is this thing like the black iron piece, requiring blood or vitality injection before it can activate the opportunity? Lin Yuan studied it with some curiosity. with the experience of gaining the 3 mysterious changes of divine fire from the black iron film last time, Lin Yuan was no longer at a loss when facing unknown opportunities. He began to try it, and as soon as he injected his own energy into the Jade tablet began to bloom with a green light. This is... Lin Yuan's eyes widened. He found that the green light in the jade plaque cast a shadow in front of him. It looked like it should be a map. A path is marked on the map, and the end of the path is shining with dazzling golden light. It seems that the location marked by this golden light should be the location of 5-star opportunity. This place looks familiar. Lin Yuan secretly pondered in his mind that when he was working as a handyman, he often had to go down the mountain to do procurement work. At the longest time, he once went to a city thousands of miles away from the Zhangtian sword sect to purchase resources for the sect. Soon, Lin Yuan judged it. The area on this map should be a city called Raging Flame City, 700 miles away from the north of the sect. To be precise, it should be a mountainous area to the north of Raging Flame City, about 100 or 200 miles away. It's a distance of 700 to 800 miles. If you want to go there, it will take several days just to travel. If this opportunity is useless, it will be a waste of more than 10 days of effort. Lin Yuan frowned slightly, but soon, he made up his mind. 5-star opportunities are very rare, and they are opportunities that appear directly to me. Even if it takes a lot of trouble, I must take it. After making the decision, Lin Yuan got up and left the yard. He did not go down the mountain directly, but walked towards the mission hall. In the Zhangtian sword sect, although there are no strict requirements for inner disciples in terms of task entrustment, Lin Yuan felt that since he had to go out of the courtyard, he might as well stop by the task hall to see if there was any reward along the way. The rewards that inner disciples can accept from commissions are very high, and at the most they can earn several thousand low-grade spiritual stones. Since he is going to Raging Flame City, if he has a mission not far away, he can easily earn some spiritual stones. The entrance to the mission hall, as one of the busiest halls of the Zhangtian sword sect, it is still a crowded and lively scene. However, in most cases, the majority of the people here are outside disciples. After all, there are no hard and fast rules for inner disciples to complete tasks every month, while outer disciples must complete at least one task commission every month. Lin Yuan approached the back of the mission hall. The surrounding outer sect disciples noticed that Lin Yuan was wearing the clothes of an inner sect disciple and took the initiative to give way. Many people looked at him with envy and awe, respectfully called him senior brother, and took the initiative to say hello. Lin Yuan walked all the way into the mission hall. His attention was not on the mission hall panel, but on the outer disciples around him. He found that the outer disciples who appeared in the mission hall this time had much better luck than the group he met the last time he came to the mission hall. In just a few moments, Lin Yuan had already noticed 2 3-star opportunities and 4 or 5 2-star opportunities. Unfortunately, when Lin Yuan stepped forward to check, he found that these task commissions with the words opportunity were too far away from the location of Raging Flame City. My goal is to get a 5-star opportunity, so I don't have to sacrifice the near for the far away, and I have to take the long way around for the 2-star and 3-star opportunities. Isn't there someone who happens to be on the way? Lin Yuan suddenly felt helpless. Since the opportunities that these outer disciples had were not in his way, he could only focus on the taskbar in front of him. Soon, the young man who was also wearing the clothes of an inner disciple and was guarded by everyone like stars over the moon walked into the mission hall. The appearance of this person and the suddenly noisy crowd attracted Lin Yuan's attention. He looked intently and found that the familiar words of opportunity suddenly appeared on the body of this inner disciple. This person has been very lucky recently and is about to get a 4-star opportunity. 4-star opportunity, and the opportunity line is connected to a mission card in front of him. Lin Yuan picked up the mission card casually, and his eyes suddenly lit up. It's really hard to find anything, but the mission place written on this mission card, which represents a 4-star opportunity, is the City of Raging Flames. Lin Yuan picked up the mission card in front of him without hesitation, turned around and walked towards the mission registration office. When he picked up the mission card, the inner sect brother who had been admired by the stars trembled slightly, feeling as if he had missed something, and had an inexplicable sense of loss. Senior brother Lin Yuan, are you sure you want to take on this 2nd-level special mission? Sure. Lin Yuan nodded directly. Okay. The disciple at the registration office quickly completed the registration work and said to Lin Yuan, "Senior brother Lin, this task is a special commission." The poster made a special request after posting the task. What special request? Lin Yuan was a little stunned. This was the first time he had received such a task, and he suddenly felt a little baffled. It's like this. The client of the task requires that after someone takes over the task, he needs to meet her first and get the token before he can carry out the task. The disciple at the registration office explained. Lin Yuan nodded when he heard this, and asked at the same time, "Where do I need to go to meet the client?" "Residence number 2 at the inner gate, this is the address left by the client." After hearing this, Lin Yuan turned around and left. It didn't take much time to go from the mission hall to the mountain gate where the inner disciples lived. This mission represented a 4-star opportunity, and it coincided with his trip to Raging Flame City. He didn't like it. Mind taking a trip? Soon, Lin Yuan found the number 2 residence in the inner gate according to the address. He gently pushed the door knocker, and after about a cup of tea, the door was opened from the inside. The person who opened the door was a woman who looked about the same age as Lin Yuan. She was wearing smart shorts and wavy hair shawl. She looked a little lazy, but her whole person exuded a cool aura that kept strangers away. Lin Yuan was slightly startled when he saw the person opening the door. How, is it her? Chapter 20 Senior Sister Qingyue's request, please urge for more updates. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Is it you? Sister Qingyue glanced at Lin Yuan. She had a vague impression of this new inner disciple who could endure the boredom and stayed in the alchemy room for 5 days. What's going on? Sister Qingyue, I accepted the commission you issued. Lin Yuan directly explained his purpose, and at the same time took out the task card representing the commission and handed it to Qingyue in front of him. Come in and talk. Qingyue glanced at the task card, then stepped out of the way and motioned Lin Yuan to come in and talk. Led by Sister Qingyue, Lin Yuan entered her room. This house looked much more spacious than his own courtyard, and so did the room. In the room, in addition to the faint smell of medicine, there was also a faint cool fragrance that seemed to be emitted from Sister Qingyue. In addition, the scene in the room was really hard for Lin Yuan to compliment. The changed clothes were thrown everywhere, and the messy books were thrown on the ground at random. Every detail seemed to indicate that the owner of the room was somewhat casual and unrestrained in life. Senior Sister Qingyue seemed to have noticed Lin Yuan's wandering gaze, but her expression did not change at all. She just glanced at Lin Yuan casually, without any intention of explaining. Lin Yuan paused for a while before clearing his throat and saying, Ahem, Senior Sister Qingyue, I heard from the people at the registration office that this commission needs to come to you first to get a token, and you will tell me the specific content of the task. Yes. Senior Sister Qingyue nodded, her lazy look gradually subsided, and she became more serious. The commission location is Nuyan City, no problem. No problem. Lin Yuan said straight to the point, I just happened to be going to Nuyan City to buy some things, and it happened to be on the way. Yes. Senior Sister Qingyue said seriously, the Shen family offended a foundation building warrior a few years ago. The warrior got some opportunities outside and broke through from foundation building to Qi gathering. After returning to Nuyan City, he threatened to take revenge, and on the night of the full moon, he would wipe out the entire Shen family. You, be responsible for killing him. Lin Yuan secretly wrote down this information after hearing it. However, he was slightly curious. Senior Sister Qingyue was a master of the 5th level of Yuan Dan. If she wanted to save the Shen family, a mere Juki warrior could easily crush her to death. Why did she go to the mission hall to issue a bounty? I have something important to do and I can't get away. Senior Sister Qingyue saw through Lin Yuan's thoughts at a glance. The reward for this mission is a 4th grade Qingyue pill, which I will refine myself. Qingyue pill. Lin Yuan was secretly shocked after hearing this. The 4th grade Qingyue pill is a rare pill that can help Juki realm warriors to impact the Yuandan realm and increase the success rate of condensing Yuandan. Moreover, unlike the 3rd grade Juki pill, the Qingyue pill requires an extremely precious medicinal material. The value of this medicinal material alone is more than 30,000 low-grade spirit stones. A successfully refined Ning Yuan pill can be sold at a sky-high price of at least 80,000 low-grade spirit stones in the market of the Zhangtian sword sect. Senior sister Qingyue actually took out a condensation pill as a reward. What a big deal. Such a precious pill alone is definitely worthy of the evaluation of a 4-star opportunity. Don't be too happy. Senior sister Qingyue swept her auspicious phoenix eyes over Lin Yuan, and poured a basin of cold water on him expressionlessly. The warrior who threatened to take revenge is at least the 6th level of Qi gathering, and maybe the 7th level, and has several powerful martial arts. Don't sacrifice your life for a mere 4th-grade pill. Thank you for your concern, senior sister. Lin Yuan smiled when he heard it. A warrior of the 7th level of Qi gathering is indeed powerful, but he has the supreme law, and has powerful weapons such as the 9 swords of the sky and the 3 mysterious changes of the divine fire. It's not impossible to fight. I'm not concerned about you, but... Senior sister Qingyue suddenly stopped here. She wanted to say that she just didn't want to see a good seedling of an alchemist die, but thinking that he didn't know the other party, there was no need to care about anything, so he stopped talking and changed the topic. Are you determined to take this task? Yes. Lin Yuan nodded. After a warrior's cultivation enters the Qi condensation realm, although the speed of cultivation will gradually slow down, according to his own breakthrough speed, it won't take long for him to prepare for the breakthrough of Yuan Dan. He was determined to get the 4th-grade Ning Yuan Dan. This is a token. Seeing this, senior sister Qingyue was too lazy to waste words with Lin Yuan, and handed him a delicate little bracelet. Give this to Miss Shen, and she will know that I asked you to go. Okay. Lin Yuan nodded, took the little bracelet from senior sister Qingyue, and saw the delicate little bracelet with 3 silver bells. He was stunned for a moment, and his eyes subconsciously looked at senior sister Qingyue's ankle. If Lin Yuan remembered correctly, this little bracelet. Humph. Senior sister Qingyue snorted coldly, and Lin Yuan immediately came back to his senses and found that she was looking at him coldly. He immediately realized his loss of composure. If you don't have any other requests, I'll take my leave first. He coughed lightly to cover up his embarrassment and stood up to say goodbye. Close the door. Senior sister Qingyue sat there without moving, watching Lin Yuan leave calmly. Lin Yuan left house number 2 and just breathed a sigh of relief. When he felt that senior sister Qingyue was indeed extraordinary, a cold voice sounded in his ears. If I know that you do something weird with it, you'll be dead. Lin Yuan was a little stunned at first, then he reacted and looked at the exquisite anklet with a strange look. He hurried back to his residence, packed up his things, and prepared to set off for Nuyan City. It takes 5 days to get from Zhangtian sword sect to Nuyan City, and now it is April 9th, and the 2nd day after he arrives in Nuyan City is the night of the full moon. That is the day when the warrior threatened to kill the entire Shen family. In this case, it's just right. After I arrive in Nuyan City, I will rest for a day, complete the commission of senior sister Qingyue, and then go to look for opportunities. The time is just right. Lin Yuan secretly calculated in his heart. After determining the next plan, he left Zhangtian sword sect directly and set off in the direction of Nuyan City. The physical strength of warriors in the Qi condensation realm is far superior to that of ordinary people. Lin Yuan can easily catch up with 100 miles in a day. In the next 5 days, in addition to traveling more than 100 miles every day, Lin Yuan also took advantage of several low-star opportunities. Although these were only low-star opportunities, they added up to several thousand low-grade spirit stones. Finally, early in the morning of April 14, Lin Yuan arrived near the Fury City as scheduled. Among the dozens of cities around, the Fury City is a larger one. Lin Yuan was still more than 10 miles away from the Fury City, and he could already see the outline of the city wall of the Fury City from a distance.